Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, June 26th, and it feels a little strange. I haven't picked up the camera in a couple of days. So, yeah, trying to gather myself so I can get this up. But, what I have set up for this week, you all know that I am a big center person, and I believe centers are really lots of hands-on learning outside of book work. There are all sorts of activities and creativity that can be had in a center, and they really lend themselves to the attention of the child outside of that book work. You know, sometimes book work is fine, our group lessons are fine, but sometimes we need diversity and change, and that's the reason why I put together centers, and we do centers throughout the week, and it kind of breaks up the monotony of things. So I will either do a literacy center like I am getting ready to show you, or a math center, or a science center, or art center, just whatever I come up with, and just try to rotate things, activities and things like that. That way everything that I use, everything that I find, like activities like this that you use with the magnetic letters, these things stay in rotation. They don't get lost. We use them all of the time. And so I am going to show you a little sweep of what's going on really quickly. Alright, over here on the chalkboard we have the phonics down there, the fridge phonics. It is magnetic, so the phonics sticks, and I just took the letters off because it is pretty much the end of the day, but they were using that. I have these little magnetic words on here. They do separate. I don't want them separated, but they do separate, and so they know to get chalk, and they can write whatever. And it is also above the word wall, and so you can see their words that are out of sorts because they've been in here rearranging, and they arrange them to make sentences and all sorts of things. It's mainly why I won't hang the board back up, because they wanted the board where they can write, but it does hang on the wall. So there's that. Some blocks down here. Then we have our pre-reader activity, and pretty much everybody works on this, even the 2-year-olds. She was the first one. When I finished putting it together, she was the first one that actually came in and did it, and I just showed her the picture and asked her to tell me what she saw, and she pretty much got every word to describe what was going on in the picture. So even the smallest one can read. So there's what that looks like. And then we have, let me take up, in our literacy we do pretty much daily 5. Math we do daily 3, and I'll get to that when I put up a math center. Probably next month I will show you the daily 3. But in our daily 5, mom hack, no binder rings, pipe cleaners. They know that they do this every day. This is something that they can do after, when they clean their board, read to themselves. They can work on writing. They can write the room, which they love to do. They can read to someone, or they can listen. We have books on audio tape, and that is solely for that purpose. Well, no, it's not for that purpose. We do, a lot of our books are read on tape, but they know that they can use it for Daily 5. But I purchased a lot of books on tape because I have auditory learners. That's what I was trying to get across. Alright, and here we have this magnetic Build-A-Word. I think I had showed this some time ago from thisreadingmama.com, and it basically covers all of the vowel sounds. So they build the word, and there's a ton of them. And I did not laminate them. They have held up beautifully for over a year. So they know to just take one and they put it on a tray and they use it. It's always fun. What else do we have in this little basket? I kind of cater to everybody. I have these little Ready, Set, Go readers I found at the thrift store for a dime. There are 12 of them, and they're just pretty much easy readers. I have shown these two before in a haul, but basically this is what they are. It's a picture and a word, and then in the back the words. So I gather up enough for everybody. I have one that is currently reading Danny and the Dinosaur, so I have Danny and the Dinosaur in there. He's about midway in there. And we also have Danny and the Dinosaur on audio tape. So that, and then I have some more of these little readers like this, and they're about National Geographics. All different subjects, school and animals, farm life, community, simple. Okay, look at the picture, read the story or the sentence. I don't know, there's probably about a dozen of these in here too. And I don't want to make it so overwhelming that they won't read. I just want something that'll just hold their attention for the moment. You know, he will read Danny and a Dinosaur for 3-4 pages and stop or keep going. I don't tell him a certain amount of pages he has to read. It's just his independent reading. I have also phonics cards in here and this rhyming puzzle in here. I have various books. I was reading to the 2-year-old a little while ago. Click, clack, quackity, quack. We read together Mice Twice. I read also to the 2-year-old One Bear Lost. And then some books that we read. Let's see, Madeline also goes along with our geography unit. We are in Europe, Paris. So we were reading, and I think this is the last Madeline book that we had to read. And some of the ones we read this week for Spanish, we started with this one, Chair for My Mother, and I have shared these in the previous video and on Instagram. They like to go back and look at what we read. Psalm 23, Who Built the Ark, and Shadow Dance. So good character stories. That one, Shadow Dance, Mice Twice, and Madeline. And also Chair for My Mother. Chair for My Mother was a book that my kids, my older kids, it was a standout book. And they reminded me to make sure that I bought this book for them. For the little kids, because, and I just spilled the color pencils, they remembered this story when they were younger, and I kept looking at the book and I couldn't quite remember, because there's also Peter's Chair, and I can't even think of that author. It's on the tip of my tongue. Ezra Jack Keats. So I was getting the two confused, but I found the book, and then my daughter tells me, yes, that's the book. So we have the book. So I said, I'm pretty sure we have that book. It's a very touching story. Very touching. Okay, so moving along, I put the Bob books up here. They sometimes want to read. This United States book is up here. The baby really loves this book. And it's just a lift a flap. Tells about some facts of Minnesota. But she is really onto geography. For a 2-year-old, she can name and identify from map to other maps. She knows where to point it out. So she's really good on that. And then just another book up here for her that she likes, a little picture book. Also, I have, in the way of readers, over here in this tub, let me make sure I showed you guys everything in here. Okay, I have an Usborne, Ted and Friends. It's another easy reader. So I'm really working on reading with the 4-year-old, so that's why that's in there. Okay, over here I have another Usborne, Todd Makes a Road, and I think it's a phonics flap book. So pretty much simple words. We have, and these books stay in here. This is just their home. It's an animal wildlife book, National Wildlife Federation. Here's a Rigby. This is Digby Takes Charge. And we have these in here because they are easy readers. What is this one? Oh, What Makes a Rainbow. It's backwards, but it is in here. It's a cute little story. And yes. And eventually you see the rainbow emerge. And so in here I showed recently the books that I used for the kids when they were 3 as foundations. Those are in here. These are in here. The girls' books are in here. I have some other easy readers here. Biscuits and Penguins, the I Spy books, Dinosaurs, Titanic book. I try to get a wide variety so that they don't get bored. And again, something not long and tedious to read, so that way they won't become unattentive. We have been working on our Build-A-Skill instant books, and so I have put these in here so they can go back and read. I have also attached a book bag on the wall, so some are in the book bag. Some of these are going to go into their notebooks, like the flat ones. They're going to go into their interactive notebooks. So I have determined, some of them I already wanted to put in there, but I've determined that we would have a whole bunch if I kept this up with each person doing a book or a different type of book. We're going to have a lot, and the book suggests putting them in individual boxes like this, but I don't want them all in boxes, and they really need to go in their notebooks. So the readers, the little mini books they worked on this week. With the little one I am working on nursery rhymes a lot. I'm teaching nursery rhymes, and that's really working well into the curriculum. The rhyme and the repetition is what helps. Also, you want to keep in your box lots of paper. As you can see, this one has a turtle on it. All different types of paper. They love the paper with the boxes so they can draw a picture. So I keep all types of stationery in here. That way they can do whatever they want. Stories, pictures, both. Keep it fun. I don't know where the owl, there's some owl ones in here somewhere. It's probably because they're on the owls are actually on the bottom. Fish. And, let's see. Pull some out. That way you can kind of see. There's an owl one. So not a lot going on in the paw print. And then I keep just to reinforce numbers. We're always needing to review numbers and letters as well. So the older ones are at the point where they're wanting to properly make letter formations, you know, get it perfected. Our little ones are. So I constantly give those things like that. What else is up here? And plenty of writing instruments, lots of crayons, colored pencils, and like I said, this is just to start. They've been in here yesterday, they've been in here today. Tomorrow, maybe towards Wednesday, I may add in like the letter cubes, the didactic letter cubes that you use to spell. I may add those in. I may add in some other games, small games that are literacy based, and that way they will have different activities, but pretty much the whole week will give them enough time to all rotate through and do, you know, pretty much the run of the activities. And this, you know, having centers really puts a new spin on old things. I'm always reinventing the wheel. These are things that they don't normally sit out. I don't give it to them every day. So I put them away, and then when I bring them out, it's like a new toy. You know, you bring it out and it's like, hey, you know, they see new paper. They're anxious to see what kind of stationery is in there. Hey, it may be robots next time. It may be penguins. It may be, we had some beach theme other than the fish, you know, so they get excited. I'm sitting here looking at the table to see what's going on. Okay, we were reading Mice Twice. I guess he drew some cat traps. So that's what's on here. I don't know, 2-year-old did that. So yeah, and then we have sprinkled with social studies today. We worked on a social studies unit, family, and well, there's quite a few people missing from our family. Probably about 3, 4. I don't think he finished yet, but this is what they were doing. Yeah, they're not finished, but the objective, the activity was to draw a picture of your family. And then what do we have? Oh, we have our weekly packet. I give them a weekly packet, and which is why they're finished, because they did so much. And I will go over these packets, but it's really about 5 pages of math, reading, comp, and spelling. 5 or 6 pages. And that's what they do pretty much in the morning, in addition to whatever book work and unit work we have. But what happened is they got it today, and this packet is already complete. So I have fast finishers. So, meaning once he finishes his book work, and the other one has completed almost all of her pages as well, once they finish their book work, they know that they're going to be done. So they will be back here to fill in their time. And yeah. So hopefully this gave you some ideas on how to set up a center. You know, you can break it up however, you know, however you like. If you want different designated areas, everybody is not all at the table. I just have everything set out on the table. They tend to sit on the floor and, you know, curl up and read, and they're just fine with that. You know, it just depends. They will take this activity and put it on the, sometimes they'll sit here at the table. Sometimes they'll sit on the floor. It just, whatever their comfort level is. The pocket chart usually stays on the table. But yeah, and drawing, they will either draw here or they will draw on their clipboard on the floor. It just depends on them. And that's what it's all about. I just lay these things out and I will let them go. I don't give them a specific order because I believe a child has a mind of their own. I just want to lead them, give them some resources, and I just let them pretty much choose. And that's pretty much how I teach them. It's all child-led. I will give them a direction and let them go. So whether they take, you know, the paper and start drawing pictures of, you know, whatever, and no words, that's fine. That's fine with me. They may take a book and start drawing the pictures. That's fine with me. It's keeping them entertained. It's what they feel like doing. And they are learning. They may want to become an illustrator. So the possibilities are endless when you create a center. You know, let the child go. Anywho, I will see you all in the comments. Let me know if you all do centers. What types of things do you incorporate in your centers? Let me know if this has inspired you. That way I can continue to share. Because like I said, these activities will stay the same. The literacy center will be literacy, but the activities will change. If you'd like to see what else I include, please let me know. Check out Instagram and my Facebook page, and I will see you guys tomorrow.